Find your next couch co-op obsession right here. These are the 25 best PS5 games to play as a couple in 2026, and every single one is worth your time. Starting this list strong, number 1 is Split Fiction, a game that genuinely changed the way people think about co-op storytelling. Developed by Hazelight Studios, the same team behind It Takes Two, this one puts you and your partner in the roles of two writers named Zoe and Mio, who get sucked into a machine that merges their fictional worlds together. The result is a game that constantly shifts between sci-fi environments and fantasy landscapes, never letting a single mechanic wear out its welcome. One moment, you are piloting a spaceship. The next, you are riding a dragon. The pace is relentless in the best possible way, and the story is emotionally rich without ever feeling heavy. It's polished, inventive, and designed entirely around two-player collaboration. Coming in at number 2, It Takes Two is one of those rare games that proves co-op can carry a genuinely moving narrative. Cody and May are a couple on the edge of divorce who get magically shrunk into dolls by their daughter, forcing them to work together to get back to their normal lives. Every single chapter of this game introduces fresh mechanics, from swinging through tree canopies to managing a tiny nail gun in a toolbox, and none of them ever repeat. The emotional arc mirrors the gameplay perfectly, and the story lands harder than most people expect going in. One player does not need to own the game, since the Friend Pass allows the second player to download and join for free, which makes this one of the most accessible co-op experiences on PS5. Number 3 on this list is Baldur's Gate 3. And if you and your partner have ever wanted to go on a massive fantasy adventure together, this is the one. Larian Studios delivered one of the most detailed RPGs ever made, with a campaign that can stretch well past 100 hours depending on how thoroughly you explore. Playing as a couple means making story decisions together, building character classes that complement each other, and navigating a world where your choices carry genuine weight. The split-screen local co-op option on PS5 is smooth and well implemented, and the Patch 8 update added full cross-platform support for online sessions. It is a long commitment, but for couples who want an epic together, nothing comes close. At number 4, Sackboy A Big Adventure is the definition of a feel-good co-op game. Sony's 3D platformer is bright, cheerful, and welcoming to players of all skill levels, which makes it an ideal pick if one partner is more experienced with games than the other. The DualSense controller integration is genuinely impressive here, with haptic feedback used to distinguish textures and surfaces in ways that add a tactile layer to the experience. The revisal system means no one gets stranded on a loading screen while the other finishes a level, and the level design is consistently inventive without ever becoming frustrating. It is not the most challenging game on this list, but it is one of the most consistently enjoyable to work through together. Taking the 5th spot, Stardew Valley might be the most quietly romantic game ever made. There is no combat pressure, no fail state, and no moment where one player feels like a liability. You and your partner tend to farm, go fishing, explore mines, befriend villagers, and build the kind of relaxed shared life that no other game quite captures. The multiplayer mode on PS5 allows both players to manage the farm together at their own pace, and the progression never feels rushed. Seasonal events and festivals break up the daily rhythm in ways that feel genuinely charming rather than formulaic. This is the game for couples who want something calming and long-lasting, rather than high stakes and intense. Number 6 goes to Overcooked All You Can Eat, which is the definitive edition of one of the most chaotic and genuinely hilarious co-op games ever created. You and your partner run a kitchen together across increasingly absurd stages, from moving conveyor belts to ghost ships to floating platforms over lava. And the communication required to keep orders flowing is both demanding and deeply funny. The All-You-Can-Eat edition bundles both Overcooked games plus all DLC into one package, giving you an enormous amount of content to work through. It is one of those games where the moments where everything falls apart are often more entertaining than the moments where everything works perfectly. Diablo IV claims the 7th position as the best long-term co-op RPG on this list. Set in the dark fantasy world of Sanctuary, you and your partner each build a character from one of multiple classes, and then tear through dungeons, bosses, and seasonal content together, in a loop that stays rewarding for hundreds of hours. The loot system is designed to generate constant excitement, with rare finds becoming shared celebrations in a way that most games cannot replicate. Co-op sessions can be picked up and put down without losing momentum, which makes this well-suited to couples with limited or variable gaming schedules. Helldivers 2 earns the 8th spot as the most entertaining squad-based shooter on PS5 right now. You and your partner drop onto hostile planets as part of a military force defending Super Earth from alien threats, with the ability to call in orbital strikes, automated turrets, and supply drops to manage the chaos. The humor built into the game's tone makes even the most catastrophic moments feel funny rather than frustrating. Sessions are short enough to fit into an evening, and the seasonal content keeps the mission pool rotating with new challenges. 2 players can make a fully functional team without needing a full squad of 4. At number 9, Sea of Thieves is one of the best open-world sandbox experiences available on PS5 for 2 players. You and your partner captain a ship together across a vibrant open ocean, hunting treasure, completing voyages, engaging in naval combat, and encountering other player crews along the way. The roles on a ship are naturally suited to a 2-person team, with one person steering while the other manages sails or cannons, creating organic cooperation without the game ever forcing it. The seasonal update cadence means there is always new content waiting, and the tone sits comfortably between epic adventure and genuine comedy. Portal 2 takes the 10th spot as the purest puzzle co-op experience on this list. The co-op campaign is entirely separate from the single-player story, and places 2 robots in a series of chambers designed specifically around 2-player portal mechanics. The puzzles require genuine communication and spatial reasoning, and the satisfaction of solving a particularly complex chamber together is unlike almost anything else in gaming. The humor woven through the experience by the character GLaDOS keeps the tone light even when the puzzles get difficult. Even in 2026, this remains one of the tightest and most well-crafted co-op experiences ever built. Number 11 belongs to A Way Out, a game that cannot be played in any form other than 2-player co-op. You and your partner take on the roles of 2 prisoners attempting to break out of jail and stay alive on the run, with the game constantly switching perspectives and mechanics to keep things moving. The tonal range here is surprisingly broad, shifting from tense stealth sections to emotional story beats to chaotic chase sequences. It is shorter than most games on this list, sitting around 5 to 6 hours for a full playthrough, but the experience is so focused and well-paced that it never feels padded. This is a great choice for a single, dedicated evening together. Haven at number 12 is the most deliberately romantic game on this entire list. You and your partner play as Kay and Yu, a couple who have fled to an abandoned planet to be together, and the entire structure of the game reflects that premise. You glide across landscapes together, cook meals, have conversations, and fight enemies using a shared combat rhythm that punishes you for acting independently. The dialogue is genuinely warm, the art direction is beautiful, and the whole experience feels like it was made specifically for couples, rather than simply adapted for 2 players. It is a quiet and tender game that rewards partners who are willing to take it at its own pace. Forza Horizon 5 rolls in at number 13 as the most visually spectacular game on this list. Set across a vivid open-world recreation of Mexico, this racing game supports co-op through its Horizon arcade events, convoy system, and cooperative challenges that let you and your partner explore the map together. The content variety is exceptional, ranging from road races to off-road trails to stunt events, and the PS5 version runs with the full suite of visual improvements. Even a partner who is not deeply interested in racing games will find the world itself compelling enough to keep them engaged. Borderlands 4 takes the 14th spot as the newest and most mechanically refined entry in one of gaming's most beloved loot shooter franchises. Released in September 2025, it brings 4 Vault Hunters, a new world full of bizarre enemies and eccentric characters, and a loot system that scales dynamically to keep both players rewarded regardless of level difference. The humor remains a signature element, and the campaign is long enough to sustain dozens of hours of co-op play. Crossplay between PS5, Xbox, and PC means you are never limited by platform when trying to play with other friends after finishing the main story. Escape Academy claims number 15 as the most communication-driven experience on this list. The premise is exactly what it sounds like. You are both attending a school for professional escape room artists, and every level is an elaborately designed room with a ticking clock, and a puzzle that demands both players to talk, observe, and reason together. There is no combat, no fail state beyond the timer, and no moment where one player can progress without the other. Sessions are short and self-contained, making this ideal for couples who want to play in brief bursts rather than extended sessions. At number 16, Peak is the most unexpectedly hilarious game on this list. Launched in June 2025, it tasks you and your partner with climbing a procedurally generated mountain that resets every single day. The proximity voice chat means you hear your partner's panic in real time as they fall, and the physics-based climbing creates a constant stream of unpredictable and genuinely funny moments. The daily reset format means you will never exhaust the content, and the difficulty sits at a level that is challenging without ever becoming genuinely frustrating for two players working together. Number 17 is Unravel 2, a platformer built entirely around the concept of connection. You and your partner each control a small yarn creature called a yarnie, and the central mechanic involves using the yarn that links both characters to swing, pull, and solve environmental puzzles. The game scales its difficulty dynamically based on how well both players are performing, which makes it one of the most accessible co-op platformers available. The visual style is warm and painterly, and the campaign is paced thoughtfully enough that it never overstays its welcome. LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga earns the 18th position as the most content-rich and family-friendly option on this list. Covering all 9 mainline Star Wars films across a massive open-world structure, the game offers hundreds of hours of collectibles, puzzles, and combat for 2 players to share. The humor is consistently charming, the co-op drop-in system is frictionless, and the visual recreation of iconic Star Wars locations is impressively detailed. Even a partner who is only casually familiar with Star Wars will find this accessible and entertaining. Cuphead at number 19 is the most challenging game on this list, and also one of the most rewarding to finish together. The hand-drawn 1930s animation style is visually unlike anything else in gaming, and the boss rush structure pushes both players to communicate, coordinate, and improve together over multiple attempts. Dying is frequent and expected, but the game is built around the rhythm of failure and improvement rather than punishment. Partners who stick with it will find a deep sense of shared accomplishment waiting at the end of each chapter. Elden Ring Nightreign takes the 20th spot as the most intense co-op experience on this list. From Software's spin-off drops you and your partner into a condensed roguelite version of the Elden Ring world, with runs designed to be completed in a single session. The challenge level is high, the enemy design is creative, and the Forsaken Hollows DLC adds new content that expands the game significantly beyond its original scope. This one is best suited to couples who both have some familiarity with action games and want something that demands focus and coordination. Remnant II at number 21 offers one of the best procedurally generated co-op worlds on PS5. 2 players can take on class archetypes that visibly complement each other and work through a campaign that generates differently each playthrough, meaning repeat runs with your partner feel genuinely fresh rather than repetitive. The Souls-like difficulty makes the revive mechanic feel meaningful rather than incidental, and the world building across its various biomes is consistently impressive. It is a deeper and slower experience than most co-op shooters, which works in its favor for couples who want something with more atmosphere. Lethal Company at number 22 is the most chaotic and consistently funny game on this list. You and your partner work as scrap collectors on abandoned moons, scrounging resources to meet a corporate quota while avoiding the increasingly terrifying creatures that inhabit each location. The tone oscillates between tense survival horror and uncontrollable laughter, often within the same room. Sessions are short, the stakes feel real despite the absurdity of the premise, and the communication required to survive each run creates natural moments of genuine teamwork. Don't Starve Together comes in at number 23 as the deepest survival experience on this list. You and your partner are dropped into a procedurally generated wilderness with no instructions, no map, and no safety net, and the 2 of you must figure out how to stay alive through research, resource gathering, and boss encounters. The art style is gothic and distinctive, and the world is full of secrets that reward exploration and experimentation. The game does not hold your hand, which makes the moments where you and your partner figure something out together feel especially satisfying. Moving Out 2 takes the 24th position as the silliest and most immediately accessible game on this entire list. You and your partner are movers tasked with clearing furniture out of increasingly chaotic locations, with physics that prioritize absurdity over realism. Couches get stuck in doorways, objects roll off balconies, and the two of you will spend more time laughing at what is happening than actually completing objectives efficiently. It is designed to be played in short bursts and requires no prior gaming experience to enjoy from the first minute. Closing the list at number 25, BOKURA Planet is one of the most quietly inventive two-player games available on PS5. The game is built entirely around the concept of asymmetric perception, meaning you and your partner see the same world differently on your respective screens, and must describe what you observe to solve puzzles together. It is a smaller game in terms of content length, but the design is genuinely clever in ways that most co-op games never achieve. For couples looking for something that prioritizes communication and creative thinking over combat or platforming, this is a fresh and memorable choice.